Happy Sunday morning, racers. Depending upon where you are on this beautiful planet, it could be afternoon, but great day to all of you. We're going to do a Sunday quick race here. We've got 3 races left in the RC Pro-Am season. AJ Dudney in the lead, and the points for Invisible Elephant at 182 points. Jack Straw with BS Racing at 172, and Scott Justice with Algabo Racing at 156, with Cantaloupe on his tail, his teammate from Algabo at 150 points. In the last race, we saw BS Racing take the lead and snag the first position in that race, finishing with the checkered flag at 30 points, with Scott Justice finishing second. And then, crazy enough, Jafari Blackwood came out of nowhere for Rainbow Warriors Racing and finished with 3rd place. So let's talk about what we're going to do here. This is going to be a pre-race heat. These drivers right here are an intermingling of current seasoned drivers as well as some rookies. We've got Barry in the number 4 car for Team Hoonigan, which is a super rookie. And then we've got the number 9 car in Perez with Gunner Motorsport as a super rookie. And then down here we've got number 2 car for Hot Wheels Racing, Seb Vett. We've got the number 45 car, Bartkus, that just signed with BS Racing. And then we have the number 33 car for Quiet Racing. So we've got some awesome drivers here. A lot of new drivers entering the fray in the next RC Pro-Am season, which will start in the next week or 2. But this is a pre-race heat. This does not count for anything. If the winner does have a garage that they've signed with, that garage does get 1 point. Bartkus, first ever time on the track, won this pre-heat yesterday, but had not yet signed for a garage, so no points were awarded. We're going to take this to 4 laps, no qualifier, so our rookies can get some quick track time prior to the main event. We've got Letterman and Blakeway battling it out in front. Those are 2 of our seasoned drivers. Let's see how our super rookies do prior to heading to the official RC Pro-Am season. It's been an awesome season so far. Lots of competition, lots of great races, some close finishes. There's been some disappointments too, let's be honest. Team Hoonigan, owned by Captain Burnout, has not fared well. You've got Captain in 17th place in the point standings with only 62 points. Hot Wheels Racing has had a kind of rough go at it. Morgan Boot has had a tough season, sitting currently in 18th. And the Rainbow Warriors have had a frustrating season as well, as their owner Dylan Jacob Smith sits in 13th. And his partner driver Jafari Blackwood sits in 39th, even with the 3rd place finish in the last race. So we're here on race lap 3 of 4 here. We've got Cantaloupe leading this race, with Witzke right behind him, with Blakeway, then Letterman, and then Seb Vett. Let's take a look at Seb here. Seb Vett getting 3 wide here, getting passed by AJ and Dominic here at the end. We've got 1 lap remaining. Let's see how this thing finishes. Seb Vett is in the top spot of all of our super rookies, followed by Barry, Bartkus, Perez, and Cabral for Quiet Racing, sitting currently in 19th. Doesn't look like any of the garages are going to win a point here today, since none of the super rookies are going to finish in first. And here we go, finalizing this race. Almost everybody has finished. Well, Jafari Blackwood finished at the end. So let's take a look at our super rookies real quick. Seb Vett from Hot Wheels Racing finished in 6th. He was the highest finishing rookie, followed by Barry in 11th for Team Hoonigan. Bartkus, who finished first in their first ever qualifier, finishes 12th. Perez 16th, and Cabral 19th for Quiet Racing. Well, let's get this show on the road for the actual official race. Here are your drivers. Same grid as last race. This time we will be heading to the beautiful country of Qatar. And we are going to move this down to 25 laps with a qualifier of 1 lap. Good luck, racers. As all of you know, this is the qualifier. All of the cars are superimposed over each other to show you where the cars were at any second on that lap. Not all the cars are on the track. This is done to save time. Instead of watching 20 different qualifiers, it's just easier to watch them all superimposed over each other. And this will define our starting positions for the Qatar race. Scott Justice is out in the lead, looking like he's going to take this qualifier home. This is a short race, and Justice snags the qualifying pole position. So let's take a quick look at the grid here. Justice, Watterson, Selly, Witzke, and Burkhart round out the top 5. Let's get this race underway, racers. Justice with his pole position, with Watterson in second, takes the first turn. Justice has had one of those up and down seasons, but sits currently in third in the point standing. He has 2 wins under his belt. One of them was in Estonia and the other one was in France. And he also has 2 second place podium finishes, including the last race we just had in Portugal. Looking good here to start things off, about half-second lead over Daniel Witzke for Team Hoonigan. Take a look at some of these battles here. Witzke, Blakeway, Mark, and Watterson rounding out the top 5 at present. Christian Lipa from Hot Wheels Racing has dropped all the way to 20th. And Joe Chapman makes a nice move there and moves up to 16th. AJ using the boost coming around the corner at the top of your screen. Now he's in the middle of your screen. Burkhart boosting, taking the inside, banging a little bit on AJ. As you can see, the green bar that's over everyone's car, that is your damage bar. You receive damage when people run into you or you run into people. And then at the top right of the screen, you've got your tire health bar. There will likely be at least 2 pits in this race, depending upon how these drivers approach the race. Close up top here with Justice and Blakeway battling. Blakeway trying to get him on the inside. Nice move there, but Justice holds him off. Lots of turns on this race. Blakeway trying to go the rough way on the outside, but Justice holds him off. 2 guys up here with Blakeway and Witzke. Blakeway takes the lead. Blakeway has not had a podium finish this entire season, nor has Daniel Witzke, so looking good right here on lap 5 of 25. 5th of the race now complete. Let's take a look at some of these other battles. Lots of cars here. Let's zoom in and watch some of these battles up close. 3 wide, almost 4 wide on this turn. Burnout, Straw, Burkhart, and Glinsky all battling for the top 10 here. Straw won our last race, dominating the Portugal track. But look at all this. Lots of damage getting acquired on these turns. These guys will be pitting shortly. Some of the leaders are looking good for damage. But this is a heck of a battle here. Cantalupi goes around Glinsky, looking to take on Burkhart next. Burkhart's going to have to pit. As expected, Burkhart takes the pit. He's coming on out. Lipa, Wetmore, and Cam pass him. Let's take a look at the bigger part of the race here. Blakeway still leading with Witzke in second. Mark Dudney, the elder Dudney, has worked his way up to a podium so far. AJ Dudney, his son, sitting in 5th. Dudney, the points leader, with a 10-point lead over Jack Straw right now for Invisible Elephant Speedworks. Lap 8 of 25, Witzke holding second place now. Justice with a battle on his tail with both Dudneys in 4 and 5. Currently, Blakeway is looking really good with this damage bar, but he is about halfway through his tires, so you would expect a tire pit in the next lap or 2, maybe 3 if he can stretch it out. Still a number of racers that have not yet pit. Let's take a look at Scott Justice, who has now dropped to 6th. Lots of cars battling back there. AJ looking really good right now. He's pitted, so he's got great damage health, he's got great tire health, and takes Justice on the inside. Got a number of the leaders pitted. Blakeway pit. Looked like Witzke also and Justice also pit. That's going to cost Blakeway the lead here. Let's take a look at the former leader here on lap 10. Has dropped to 4th, which isn't a bad drop considering he just pit. We'll see where that leads him at the end of this race. We've got Dominic now heading into the pit for his first stop of the match, of the race, which allows Blakeway to take over first place again with AJ and that boost, using that boost up right on his tail. Let's take a look here at the back of the pack. We got Ethan Wetmore battling Jafari Blackwood. Blackwood again finished third in Portugal in the last race. Great podium finish there for the Rainbow Warriors in the 43 car, yellow car. Ethan Blakeway still leading this race. Let's take a look at some of these guys. Here's Chapman in the 22 car. Disappointing race here so far for Quiet Racing. It started off hot and has kind of gone into the crapper for the 22 car. The 22 car now sits in 11th in the points race at 126 points. 2 podium finishes, including a win a few weeks ago in Germany. Oregon Buddha for Hot Wheels Racing in the number 64 car with his teammate right in front of him, Christian Lippe in the 97. Jack Straw, winner of last race, all the way back in 15th. This will hurt his standings here in the points race as he sits only 10 points behind AJ, and AJ is in the lead right now. Has taken the lead over from Justice. He got around Chapman, lapped Chapman, where Blakeway and company are coming up on Chapman trying to lap him. Over the last few races, the teams that have been getting lapped have been nice, and they've moved out of the way for the leaders, but in some of the earlier races, these lapped folks really caused problems for leaders, slowing them down and allowing other guys to get on their tail and take the lead. Blakeway sitting in second right now, coming up on the lead, coming up on lap drivers here. Blakeway takes a nice move over Chapman, looking to lap Buddha on the inside, but Buddha says no thank you with the boost. AJ looking really good, but Blakeway comes right back into second using that boost. We're on lap number 16. AJ's going to end up likely having to pit again in this race. He's got about little over halfway tire health here. Blakeway has about little over halfway tire, almost the same as AJ. So I expect these leaders to probably pit as the rain starts to fall. People are going to pit here. They're going to put some different tires on here to allow them better grip in the rain. All of the leaders are pitting. That actually benefits them. They're pitting early, so they likely won't be pitting again for the rest of this race. AJ has no problem lapping Jafari Blackwood there, as Blakeway and Witzke are trying to make up some ground, but Blakeway was having a hard time getting around Blackwood. Witzke's got to lap a couple of guys here coming up to try to get back into this race. The Elder Dudney sitting in 5th. Ian Watterson in 5th now. Mark passed him. Dominic from Top Gun Racing. So a nice showing here right now for Top Gun Racing. You've got the 17 car Dominic in 6th and the 7 car Watterson in 5th. AJ's got about a half-second lead on Ethan Blakeway. This would be a great finish for Blakeway if he could pull this second place off or even catch him. And Witzke in 3rd. There's a look at the hot pink car for Team Hoonigan, owned by Captain Burnout. 37 car looking really good. The rain seems to have cleared up, but it looks like the racers don't want to lose any positions, so they're not going to pit. They're going to try to run these things into the ground over the last 5 laps. Joe Chapman has dropped to 20th for Quiet Racing. The other Quiet Racing driver has been quiet, pun intended. The number 27 car, Cam. Let's take a look at some of these drivers. There's Cam battling Lippe and Selly. Selly moved up a little bit here. Justice has dropped all the way back to 12th place. Not good for his points chase. Straw also in the top 3 points chase is pitting for the 3rd time. He doesn't feel good about his car, so he's going to take a pit. But the leaders, lap 21, the leaders are going to pit too. I guess they're all following suit. Let's get those better tires on, those soft tires, so we can rip these corners. AJ with Blakeway on his tail and Witzke pulling away a little bit from Ethan Watterson of Top Gun Racing. Here's a look at Watterson. You can see how far he is behind Witzke right now. But looking good in the Top Gun Racing car, number 7. AJ pulling away, 2.5 lead. As we stated in last race, we've got a number of racers that are just sick and tired of this kid running things on this track, but the Dudneys and this Invisible Elephant Speedworks team are going to be tough to beat. I tell you, these guys are active. These guys are hungry. And I just think that there's going to be some really good barn burners as we move into the NASCAR season as well as the Formula One season, as all of these garages look to become super competitive. AJ has the lead here. Blakeway and Witzke battling. Lipa was really slowing down AJ right there, but AJ got past him. Still holding a second lead. As we enter into the last lap of the race, it looks like AJ, unless he spins out here, Witzke's really flying around the corner. Holy crap, Witzke was using some boost. But it looks like AJ's going to be able to hold him off as the... Oh, I don't know. I spoke too soon. Witzke is doing all he can to get around AJ. AJ's trying to hold him off. This is going to be... What a move in the end, and Witzke is going to beat AJ out at the last second. Congratulations to Team Hoonigan. Unbelievable. Team Hoonigan passes AJ. Daniel Witzke with his first, not only his first podium finish, but his first win. What a move there by Daniel Witzke. I spoke too soon. AJ had over a second lead of his on the last lap, but Witzke pulls off the unbelievable move. That's why I love the MVP Racing League. Witzke comes out of nowhere and snags that. Holy moly, that may have been one of my favorite finishes of all time. Daniel Witzke, congratulations to Captain Burnout, the owner of Team Hoonigan, getting their first ever victory as a garage, beating out, heavily favored there in that last lap, AJ of Invisible Elephant. And look, Ethan Blakeway, the number 76 car for Gunner Motorsports, finishes with his first podium finish. So 2 drivers getting their first podium finishes in their careers here in the MVP Racing League. Congratulations to both Witzke on his first win and Ethan Blakeway on his first podium finish. And of course, the points leader, the dominant number 53 car, AJ Dudney, looking really good to try to snag this points lead. You know, Jack Straw was on his tail, but as you can see, we'll move down these finishes and see where Straw finished, and AJ's going to have a really tough time. Actually, everyone's going to have a really tough time beating AJ now for that points lead. And Dudney, the other Dudney, Mark Dudney, the owner of Invisible Elephant, finished in 5th, looking good for their garage in the constructor. So Ian Watterson finishes in the 7 car, finishes 4th. Mark Dudney 5th, then Dominic, then Glinsky, then Burkhart. Cantalupi drops way down. Burnout with a great finish. Straw finishes in the 11th spot. That's going to hurt, as AJ is going to gain a number of points there in the point standings. Scott Justice with a disappointing finish. Jacob Smith, Nelly Selly, Cam, Lipa, 32 car Wetmore, Blackwood, Buddha, and Chapman. Terrible race here for both Quiet Racing and Hot Wheels Racing. Hot Wheels Racing in the 16 and 19, and Quiet Racing not much better in the 15 and 20. But lots of great things coming up. We've got a lot of new drivers. We've got a lot of enthusiasm. We're about to split out and promote some of these drivers into their career track, whether that's F1 or NASCAR. You know, the F1 drivers will start in the Supercart, and then the NASCAR drivers will start in the Truck Series. And all of our rookies that we have right now will be coming in. Thanks for everything, guys. Talk to you soon.